Hello friends, my name is Dasha and today I'm going to be doing the mid-year book Freakout tag for 2020. This has been going around and I figured I'd hop on that train. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. The first question is the best book you've read so far this year, and I am so excited to say it was Circe by Madeline Miller. Oh my god, this was everything. I know it was on a lot of people's most disappointing books list of last year. You're all wrong and I hate you. This book was so fucking beautiful. It hurt. It felt good. It was so mystical and incredible. I am biased towards Greek and Roman mythology. Clearly, I enjoy the aesthetics of it. I like it. I study it. I live for that shit. But there was just something so special about the way Madeline Miller writes. Just so magical. It is so breathtaking. There's just something about it I can't even explain, but it's just incredible. The best sequel I've read so far this year would have to go to God's Grave by J. Kristoff, the second book in the Nevernight series. I cannot say what this book is about without spoiling Nevernight, but all I'll say is the ending knocked my socks off. The whole book was a wild ride from start to finish. It was just so good, and it just cemented that series in one of my top series of all time. It was just I have no words for how much it just knocked the breath out of me when I read it for the first time. The next question is new release that you haven't read yet but you want to, and there's a few. Where Dreams Descend, A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. I've heard so many good things about them and I'm kind of interested. Also, The City We Became. I became an N.K. Jemisin stan this year and I will read anything that woman puts out, including The City We Became. I just need to get around to it because I'm garbage at picking up new releases. The next question is the most anticipated release for the rest of the year. And like every other adult fantasy reader, I cannot wait for The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab and A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. Oh my god, they both sound so up my alley. I pre-ordered Addie LaRue because Indigo has an exclusive version and it comes out on my birthday, so treat yourself. And I've never read Naomi Novik, but A Deadly Education sounds so up my alley and that cover's beautiful and I'll probably end up pre-ordering it too. Who knows? I can't be trusted with money. The most disappointing read so far this year, I gotta be honest, because I only got back into reading recently, I've been just kind of consuming a ton of content without having a ton of expectations for things. I will say that Red Rising, just a lot worse than I thought it would be because of how popular it is. I really didn't enjoy that book. I thought the main character was just all over the place. I thought the writing was kind of trying to be more fancy than it is. The only thing I enjoyed was the second half of the book where there was a bit more of how do I even describe an educational battlefield plot. That part was fine, but the rest of the book I just found a really mediocre. Catch and Kill by Ronan Farrow. I thought this was going to be a lot better than it was too. This is the book about the Harvey Weinstein case. And about other things that kind of got dredged up when this case started becoming public, but it just kind of dragged a little bit for me and it didn't have as much detail as I wanted. Instead, it was just a lot of name dropping and kind of useless side details, and I thought it wasn't as well done as it could have been. Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. I loved Scythe. I thought this book was I thought Scythe was honestly ahead of its time, too intellectual. And then Thunderhead, it felt like Neil forgot how to write. It just wasn't at the same caliber, and it just was really disappointing because I expected it to be incredible. The ending is obviously a lot, and I have to read the third one now, but I was just kind of Scythe was just so far ahead of the game at that point for young adult in terms of the themes and the philosophical questions and the word choice, and everything was so immaculate in that book. And then it just Thunderhead just didn't do it for me. I'm pretty sad. The most surprising read this year was World War Z. Oh my god, that book was actually phenomenal. I expected to like it because I do enjoy a good zombie story, but that book had so much depth and it was so achingly human. I'll link my June wrap-up above, but to be honest, I don't think I said anything that much different. I was just gushing about this book because I had some really good things to say. It was just so much better than I thought it would be. It was so freaking good, well researched. Also, Wilder Girls. Y'all fucking lied. Y'all lied for Wilder Girls. That book was good. That atmosphere and the like weird writing style worked so well for me. The ending was fine. You guys are babies. Like everything about it was just actually so good. Similarly, Annihilation. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I thought that was like absolutely like the atmosphere, the vibes, the setting, the world building, the creepiness almost of it all. It was just so phenomenal. Favorite new author, either debut or new to you. I said it earlier, I became an N.K. Jemisin stan this year. I read 5th season, 100,000 Kingdoms, and I was just sold immediately. She has such a beautiful writing style, and she just does something really special with her worlds and her characters that is just such a step above everything I have read. And I think like I'm gonna pick up anything she writes. Jay Kristoff, because of the Nevernight trilogy, and I also finished finally the Illuminate Files this year, I really enjoy what he writes. He's even coming out with Empire of the Vampire next year, and I don't fuck with vampires, but I trust Jay Kristoff to do it well. I'm hoping anyways. Like I would read almost anything that man puts out. Newest fictional crush. So normally, I don't think I would have one, or at least I don't remember last time I had one, but I read quite a few characters I really enjoyed this year. Elias Viturius from An Ember in the Ashes. For some reason in my mind, he just looks like a prime piece of man meat, and I'm here for it. Sam from the Diviner series. I read Lair of Dreams this year, and Sam was just like, I want him to call me Baby Vamp, you know? Is that too much to ask for? Also, Nahadoth, the Night Lord from 100,000 Kingdoms, can destroy me at any time. Anytime. Please. I'm ready. I'm here. I will do anything. Like, that was written so immaculately, even though he's like a infinitely old creature that is not human. Newest favorite character is the next question. Mia from the Nevernight series. What a bad bitch. Cersei's also a bad bitch. I just love a good bad bitch character. What can I say? I find men just disappoint me in books very often. If they're the main character, they're kind of not that interesting. I guess on that same note, Evie O'Neill from The Diviners is a pretty bad bitch too, you know? I kind of like how she does whatever she wants. She doesn't take shit from anyone. She's very real, very raw, very teenager in her decisions, and I kind of appreciate her for it. Mia's also, like I said, bad bitch, fucking murderous, takes no shit, does a lot of harm, and I like it. And Cersei was just so human despite her being a goddess, and I really, really appreciated that. And I felt like I could really relate to her, even though obviously I wasn't dealing with half the same shit she went through. I felt like she was just a very, very real human character. A book that made you cry. Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Oh, that end was just something. I didn't expect to cry. I was like, okay, like obviously it's gonna be sad and I'm gonna feel some things because I just followed these boys from them growing up to going to the war together. No, it fucking tore my heart out. Oh my god, I was not prepared for it. Madeline Miller, you are an evil creature. Next question is books that made you happy, and I will say honestly, like Cersei made me quite happy. I thought it was just so beautiful, and I felt like privileged that I got to read it. Like it just meant so much to me when I read it, and I think about it all the time, and it's just something that like gives me good feelings, you know? Well, I guess I can also mention Sorcery of Thorns was like a super light, upbeat, like YA standalone that I didn't really mind. I thought it was pretty solid, you know, fun little story, fun little fantasy setting, fun little romance, fun little characters. It was just fun, you know. I didn't hate it. Most beautiful book you bought this year? Just you fucking wait. Can we take a second and appreciate this? Mythos by Stephen Fry. It's his retellings of some Greek myths. I just want to point out this bronze with this blue. with like the white. Oh my god. I saw this in the store and like I never planned on buying it, but somehow it ended up in my house, so. And then on top of that, as if that wasn't enough, the naked hardback of this. It is stunning. It's spectacular. It's also like illustrated on the inside and has like pictures of like statues and like old paintings, and it just notices like a little cyclops. Oh, I love her. I love her. Final question is, what books do you still need to read before the end of the year? Too many. I'm toying with the idea of making a video for like top 20 books I need to read before the end of 2020. I already have it in like a spreadsheet on my bullet journal, and I'm like, well, maybe if I put it out there on the internet, I'll be held more accountable. Maybe not, but who knows. But just kind of like an overview. The Obelisk Gate, the second book in the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. I want to finish the Ember and the Ashes series because the last book's coming out soon. I really want to read a bit more horror, so like A Haunting of Hill House, House of Leaves, Pet Sematary. I really want to read, there's a couple of nonfiction, How to Hide an Empire. It's about the US and their like colonies that they had that no one really talks about. I love a good expose. Same with Permanent Record by Edward Snowden. He exposed the US for mass surveillance of their citizens, and I am here for a good tea spill on the US government. I love to see it. I think I'll probably end up making a video on this. I do think that it will help me keep myself accountable, despite the fact that I am a mood reader. It'll kind of help guide some of my reading decisions and maybe help me whittle down my physical TBR, because I'm trying to keep that kind of under control. That is it for my mid-year book freakout tag. Let me know either in the comments or on social media what your favorite book so far this year was. And, you know, come join the party on my social media. It's all linked. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!